So when we first introduced open banking in the UK and PSD2 in wider Europe, one of the biggest things that we were trying to drive is enabling all the different players and giving them that transparency and the connectivity that they need to utilize all the customer data and all the kind of demand that was already existing in the market. So pretty much opening up the ecosystem to make it more competitive for the market. And this established the account-to-account payment rails that we needed for real-time payments. So it was pretty much the foundation, the technical standards, the foundation that we set up in the market. And if you look at what it drives today, I'm sure many of you have heard or seen the Joe Garner report that came out recently. So there's a bit of focus in the UK specifically to how we can leverage open banking going forward. How do we build out a commercial model that makes sense for the market so that we can innovate on top of open banking rails to build out real-time payments? So there's a lot we can do with open banking. And then if you look at wider Europe, and PSD3, PSR, some of the regulations that have now come on top of PSD2 that was launched a while ago, it tries to make the ecosystem even more open for FinTechs, EMIs, and smaller players to take part in, and also for them to kind of take part in the wider schemes that are available in Europe. So there's a lot we're trying to do to make sure that competition and innovation is happening on top of open banking rails.
And I think open banking combined with instant payments will open up the use cases that I think instant payments on their own hasn't necessarily tackled in all markets. In Europe, instant payments hasn't, I'd say, be the card competitor that I think some regulations and central bodies hoped it would be. Point of sale in these markets is very much still card dependent. And I think open banking combined with instant payments is really the way forward to start thinking about what is the alternatives to card and being able to provide a simpler and cheaper and, yes, merchant-free sometimes payment experience.
So I think one of the biggest advancements we've seen in open banking is merchants actually picking it up within their platforms, purely because it is one of the most cheapest mechanisms that are out there. Compared to interchange and some of the other fees that are charged by other providers. So we're hoping that this becomes more prevalent in the merchant space as well.
I think one extra thing it always gets me think about is open banking is happening today, and often you don't even realize it. A good one is topping up your Monzo account. That's using open banking, but how many individuals or don't know that's what it is? And so I think there's also there's so much opportunity that is almost untapped because it is working beautifully behind the scenes. And so what can come when it's used even more in anger and with big scale initiatives.